Hey guys, it's me, Erin, and I am now in France. I am in Angers, and I've been here for a little over a week. I've been in France for about 2 weeks now. So when I was arriving in France, I decided to spend a few days before I got to Angers in Paris on my own. And as far as getting from Paris to Angers, that wasn't too bad. I took a bus. It was about a 4-hour bus ride, about an hour and a half to 2 hours by train from Paris to Angers. But because I was in Paris before I was in Angers, I got to get used to the time zone and my jet lag wasn't as bad, which was very helpful for the placement exam. The day I got to Angers, I met my host family and I got all settled in, and then the day afterwards was the day of the placement exam. So I was very glad to be in France before I was in Angers, because I had some time to get used to the culture and the language and just everything with being in a new country. As far as the placement exam, it is known for having a difficult listening portion. So there's a lot of background noise with the listening part, and the recording isn't great, but they did tell us at the beginning of the test that it was a difficult one, so it's difficult for everyone that's taking the test as well. So the placement exam was all multiple choice for the first test, but if you score high enough, you'll get the level SUP, which stands for superior. And so if you get that level, then you'll take another placement test, which is a writing test. And I did get that superior level, so I took the second placement test. For the second placement test, there was a reading section where there were a set of statements, and you just selected which ones were actually correct. And then you had to write about a 300-word essay based off of a topic that they gave you. And the way that the levels work here at CDIF is there's A1 and A2, which are for people who are just learning French. And there's B1 and B2. And there's also C1, which is the most superior of all the levels. I was put in B2 too. There are divisions between like B1 and B2, but they change from semester to semester. And then as far as orientation, when I first got here, there's meetings throughout the first several days that you're here, and they'll explain everything to you about insurance and what activities they have available on campus, and you just kind of sit and absorb the information. It is all in French though, but they do talk slowly because they understand that everyone in the program is learning French, so it's definitely a lot to take in. But they do have the secretaries available for you so that you can ask them questions one-on-one, so that if you didn't understand something, you can revisit it and they'll tell you what you need to know so that you can do what is necessary to make sure you have everything taken care of while you're in France. When I first got to Angers, it was much more relaxing than when I first got to France. I was in Paris, again, like I said before, all by myself, which was a bit stressful. It was a good experience to have, I think, because traveling by myself, I definitely learned a lot about myself, and I realized I can travel on my own. But being in Angers, I could finally relax and breathe and settle in with a host family and unpack all of my stuff. And Angers is very similar to Bloomington Normal in the way that there are multiple universities in this city, and it's fairly easy to get from place to place with the public transportation system. It is, however, a pretty big city, as in that it is difficult to walk from one end to the other. It would take you over an hour most likely. And there's a lot of stuff to do throughout the city, and it's a very good place to study abroad, I believe. As I have gotten to Angers, I have made some friends, but a lot of times it's easy to bunch together with all of the Americans and just speak English. So one of my goals while I'm here is to branch out and really speak French, even with Americans and other English speakers, and to maybe even become friends with some French people, so that I can really push myself and begin to learn the language.